When we watch boxers in the ring, the only thing we focus on is their ability to win titles, right? But what if before each match, we read about the background of these athletes?
83 боя у Бивола и 78 у Кларксона по печени. Дмитрий Бивал наносит удар.
For boxers like Dmitry Bival, you will discover that every punch, every jab, and every knockout is a product of years of grit and dedication to the sport at a time when satisfaction was all it offered. The crazy difference between his past and present has led us to believe that, indeed, Dmitry Bival deserves every strand of success he's getting.
Had to react. Oh, and now he comes back with a hard right hand of his own. Good jab.
And in today's video, we'll be showing you why.
Just moves in behind the guard, and Bival, great intent. He does have a good read.
Bival's life didn't just start on a bed of roses. He was born in the capital city of Tokmak, Kyrgyzstan in 1990, a year when the economic and political scene in the country was challenging. His parents, originally from Moldova and Kazakhstan, were not your typical sports parents. Due to their hard times caused by the post-Soviet Union crisis, his father worked as a bus driver, while his mom worked at different jobs around town to support their large household. In that kind of home, surviving was top on the list. And sports? Well, let's just say that was at the bottom of the chain. The hardships that he faced became the foundation of his discipline and determination to succeed. And so, in a typical manner with most legendary boxers, boxing became the tool path to success. Bival picked an interest in the sport at the young age of 6, and from such an early age, he learned that he had one quality to his advantage: his physique. Bival was one of those big kids on the block, weighing a lot more than kids his age, and he was smart enough to take advantage of it. In his early days, street fighting was like scrolling through Instagram, something young kids did for fun. However, Bival decided to stick with boxing as a hobby rather than remaining on the streets. Bival's amateur career was nothing short of spectacular. With an impressive record of 268 wins and only 15 losses, he was like a walking highlight reel. He won 2 World Junior Championships and even snagged a bronze medal at the 2008 AIBA Youth World Boxing Championships. You can say he was practically collecting medals like Pokemon cards. In 2012 and 2014, he became the Russian national champion in boxing. Imagine him strutting around with his medals while other kids were still figuring out how to tie their shoelaces. His confidence grew as he faced older opponents and emerged victorious time after time. Fast forward to November 28, 2014, Bival turned professional at the age of 23. His debut was like a scene straight out of a movie, lights flashing, the crowd cheering, and Bival stepping into the ring with dreams bigger than his gloves. He won his first fight by knockout and continued this trend for his next 6 fights. It was as if he had a magic wand that turned every opponent into dust. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Every hero has their challenges. Dmitry faced tough opponents early on, but managed to maintain his undefeated streak, a feat that made fans wonder if he had superpowers. In May of 2016, Bival won the interim WBA light heavyweight title after defeating Felix Valera in a thrilling match that left fans on the edge of their seats. The match was heavily dominated from the first round by Bival. Bival had his accurate punching style to his advantage, which seemed to force Valera to struggle to dodge the punches. By the 5th round, he had successfully worn Valera out. At that point, it seemed like Valera was just trying to survive the remaining rounds, which he did, fortunately. At the end of 12 rounds, Bival had beaten him convincingly on all 3 scorecards to gain victory by unanimous decision. In reality, this victory was like finding the golden ticket in Willy Wonka's factory because it opened Bival to bigger opportunities. After this, Bival went on to defend his title against Robert Berridge in 2017. Again, it was an easy win for Bival, and even though Bival was the one defending his title, Berridge did the real defense here against the punching pace that Bival established. 4 knockdowns and 1 bleeding eye later, the match was stopped by Berridge's ringside doctor, ultimately leading to a TK win for Bival. The iconic boxer from Russia had his next fight against Trent Broadhurst, this time to win the full WBA lightweight title. This match was as quick as it was out together. Bival wasted no time in establishing his dominance with a powerful jab at his opponent. Just a few minutes later, Trent was sent sprawling on the canvas in what appeared to be a knockout, but it was later held to be a bad call. Nevertheless, Bival insisted on proving that he was the king of knockouts. In a few seconds to the end of the first round, Bival landed a brutally sharp right hand that shot Trent flat on his back. This time, no one objected to such a devastating knockout, and just like that, Bival became the full WBA light heavyweight champion. You can trust that this win had fans buzzing for weeks. The next fight was in 2018 against Jean Pascal in defense of his WBA title. It was another significant win right at Madison Square Garden, a venue known for hosting legends. Throughout the first round, Bival chose the calm route and was content with countering the fiery punches from his opponents. But we all knew that his gentleness was only temporary. Before the end of the round, Bival returned Pascal's blows with the massive right hand that sent him into the ropes. In the continuing rounds, Bival kept up his precise attack, making his opponent's punches seem like gentle taps. Although Pascal held up the fight until the final round, Bival dominated the game and eventually won by unanimous decision. In May of 2021, after a long break due to pandemic-related delays, Dmitry Bival faced Craig Richards at the Manchester Arena for the WBA World Light Heavyweight title. The bout lasted 12 rounds, and as usual, it was a thrilling contest. In the early rounds, Richards came out swinging, landing powerful shots that made Bival cautious. But by round 2, Bival had adjusted, relying on his jab and defensive skills to regain control. As the fight progressed, Bival's experience shone through. He landed significant punches in rounds 8 and 9, showcasing his boxing prowess. Ultimately, Bival won by unanimous decision, with scores of 118 to 110, 115 to 113, and 115 to 114. This fight highlighted Bival's ability to adapt under pressure, but also revealed vulnerabilities when faced with such a strong opponent like Richards. There was no stopping Dmitry Bival at this point. His fighting style was too precise, almost as though he rehearsed every move, punch, and jab. In everything, he never failed to give fans a spectacular show. One such fight was against Canelo Alvarez in 2022. Yes, the Canelo Alvarez. There is no other way to describe the fight than monumental. If you still don't get it, let's break it down. Alvarez was the reigning 4-division world champion, better known as the Grand Slam champion. Though Bival was good, it was clear that in this fight, he was the underdog. So, winning such a fight, and by unanimous decision too, was a shocking surprise. Because let's face it, beating Canelo is like defeating Goliath with a slingshot made of bubblegum. The win not only solidified Bival's status as one of the best, but also earned him Fighter of the Year honors from multiple sources. Bival delivered another boxing masterclass against Gilberto Ramirez in another title defense. In the early rounds, Ramirez appeared competitive, utilizing his size advantage and landing some solid shots. However, Bival quickly found his rhythm, employing a sharp jab and lightning-fast combinations that left Ramirez struggling to keep pace. By the 6th round, Bival was clearly in control, landing clean punches while evading Ramirez's attacks with ease. In the later rounds, despite Ramirez's attempts to increase pressure and seek a knockout, he was often left swinging at air because Bival countered effectively. The final round saw Ramirez desperately trying to turn the tide, but ultimately failing to land significant blows. The judges scored the fight 118 to 110 and 117 to 111 twice in favor of Bival, who retained his title and improved his record to 21-0. This victory solidified Bival's status as a top contender in the light heavyweight division. Interestingly, things took a different turn in October of 2024 when Dmitry Bival was billed to face Russian-born Canadian boxer Artur Beterbiev for the undisputed light heavyweight world title in Saudi Arabia. Everything about the fight was intense, from the announcement to the promotion and the fight itself. While Beterbiev entered with the IBF, WBC, and WBO World Light Heavyweight Championship titles, Bival was staking his WBA World Light Heavyweight Championship title. So yeah, if you think that this was the fight of their lives, you're probably correct. From the first round, it was like Clash of the Titans, Boxing Edition. Bival started with fast jabs and a left hook that got the ring charged. but Beterbiev was quicker and was able to evade most of his punches. Both were evenly matched throughout the next rounds, but as it progressed, Beterbiev slowly gained the upper hand in the fight, firing serious punches with more accuracy than Bival. In the end, Beterbiev defeated Bival through a narrow majority decision, bringing an end to Bival's unbeaten record. Regardless of this defeat, it is undisputed that Bival remains one of the most revered in the boxing world, with his chess-like skills. Talks of a rematch between him and Beterbiev have been ongoing, keeping fans in eager anticipation for another boxing masterclass from their fave. Overall, Bival's story is filled with determination, laughter, and plenty of knockout moments. From his humble beginnings in Kyrgyzstan to becoming one of boxing's elite champions, he continues training hard in Southern California, while balancing life as both an athlete and a father. One thing's for sure, his journey is far from over. It's more like an ongoing saga where each chapter brings new challenges and triumphs. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching the video to the end. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel to enjoy more similar content. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the impressive career of Dmitry Bival in the comments. And until next time, keep those gloves up.